Hello everybody, welcome back. Welcome back on a lovely Saturday, and we've got a Colour Me Happy now today. I hope you're having a great day. If you watched the earlier show, you would have heard me talking about today is the day to eat ice cream for breakfast. There's a day for everything, isn't there? So do let me know if you did have ice cream for breakfast. We didn't get the opportunity to go and get any ice cream, but I'm still hankering after it. I might have to get some a little bit later on. Yeah. Hopefully I can find a little bit of, maybe there's an ice cream truck that's going to come past. I think it's highly unlikely, but you never know. Lots of people are messaging in to say hello. Sarah Brown says, hi everybody, I'm back for more fun with Corrine and Becky. Hope you had a great break. Becky, did you get ice cream? No, she had some with Baileys. Now I'm really jealous of that. Baileys and ice cream would be delicious. You know, then I think, you know, Baileys with coffee, Baileys with hot chocolate, and then I'll be fast asleep on that sofa over there and not able to talk. Carlotta says, hello everybody. And Christine Mahoney says, hello again, everyone. It's freezing in upstate New York. Yeah, we were looking at that, the weather earlier on. It is really, really cold elsewhere. It's quite mild here at the moment, which is good, but it probably means we've got some rain ahead of us. We're going to have a great day today. I've got the lovely Corrine here with me all weekend. It's me and Corrine all weekend, isn't it?
It is me and you here, and we've got the house to ourselves where we stay. So
party.
We just... Yeah, oh, well, party central. No, we'll be asleep in our pyjamas by 10 o'clock, won't we? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and we're going to be doing all things Colour Me Happy now. Yes,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah, very exciting. Because we're going to be doing lots of things with different sparkle pens, aren't we?
It's all about the sparkle. It's a Colour Me Happy, all about sparkle and glitter. So that's what we're going to focus on today, yes.
Excellent. Terry Anderson says, hello everyone from Ohio. I've just done watching Play Your Crafts Right. It was very funny. If you didn't have the opportunity to watch it, do go back and watch it because it was all mashed up of people's faces. Charlotte says, afternoon everyone here in Herne Bay. Lynn says, hi, just eating lunch. Kimberly, good morning from Wikiwachi. Wikiwachi, am I saying that right?
Wikiwachi, yeah.
Wikiwachi, excellent. Glad everyone's messaging in. These are our glitter pens that we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to go over to Corrine, and Corrine's going to show us exactly what you can do with these glitter pens.
Absolutely perfect. So your sparkle pens come, we've got 4 sets of colours, and then you get a set of clear ones as well. So the clear ones got clear barrel, but what we're going to focus on now is and I've got them all here, so I'll bring them down so you can see, are the coloured sparkle pens. So these are beautiful, and they are full of our water-based medium and our glitter in a microform. So you've got different one, tint and tone, essential brights, you've got antique vintage and earthy natural. So they're lovely. And when they come, they'll each have a little band around there. So what you need to do to activate them, I'll do it properly this time, is you take them off, give them a good shake. Give them a good shake to wake it up. Now, the first time you use them needs a more vigorous shake than the next time you use them. So you just give it a little bit of a shake. Make sure, and if you listen, if I do it by there, you can hear the little ball bearing. Then you just need to unscrew it. So when you unscrew it, it's still sealed here. Take the little ring out, put them back together. You've seen these style of pens, and I can actually just feel a little bit of resistance when I get to the end there. Put them together and then take the lid off. Now, the brush is quite stiff and it's white. So what you need to do, just break that down. As soon as I've broken that down, it's just a coating on it for the manufacturing process. Then it says push, but actually it's just a little gentle squeeze, and you can see, do you see that run straight down that nib? And then you've got the most beautiful water-based medium that is absolutely, can you see the sparkle in that?
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. Isn't that a gorgeous blue? I like that one. I'm really impressed with that one. Right, so what we're going to do now, if you're going to use a water-based medium, you need to use the right products with it. So I have taken a stamp. So this is my Sending Happy Thoughts, and I'm going to stamp initially with my watercolour pens. So I'm going to get my green one, and I'm just going to come over this. Let me just give it a little bit more of a shake. I'm going to come over this, and I'm just going to come down on the stalk. So I'm just effectively colouring in my stamp with my medium. So I can be really selective here. And don't worry if it goes quite a long way off, because what we're going to do is we're going to give it the effect of a watercolour finish. So it's quite a relaxed look that we can create with these. So I'm just going where there's foliage. You just have to be a little bit methodical to remember where you've been. Then I'm going to pick another one, and I'm going to go for this pink this time, because I do like this one. And then if I just want to check that I've got it, I'm going to get that scrap bit back. And I can just check that my pen is flowing. There we go, got a little bubble there. And then I can come over with this, and I'm just drawing over where I want the pink to be, just on here. So let's come over there. Let's make sure I've got, oh, there are plenty now. And I can come over this one. I did that. Where else do I want to go? Just, I think that might just about, oh, a little bit down there. And then, but don't worry if you miss any bits, because it really doesn't matter. Then I'm going to come in with the orange from the Earthly Natural. Oh, there we go. Make sure that's flowing. And then I'm going to do these that look a bit to me, a bit like chrysanthemums. Got a chrysanthemum effect. There we go. Now, don't worry if you've missed any bits, because we're going to colour them in any... Oh, the last one I was going to do, I was going to use the blue. Which blue did I use? Just this new blue that I hadn't used before. I like this one. I'm just going to do the bow with the blue. And don't worry if the colours start to merge a little bit as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to... I've got some watercolour card, and I've just put some masking tape around the edge to keep it clean. And I'm going to huff on this. When we say huff, we just go... just to make sure it's activated. Thank you, Becky. Oh, I can see I've got some ink on here. Let's get rid of that. Don't want that. Yeah, it's a technical term, huff on your stamp.
I quite like that.
Yeah. And then all I'm going to do then is I'm just going to ink that onto here, and I'm just going to go once over, and then you can see, look at
beautiful.
That. Doesn't that look lovely? So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a blast with my heat gun. Just a little bit. There we go. And you can already see the glitter. If I start to shake, you can see the glitter coming out. Just dry that a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is let's go in first with my green first. And we can do it a couple of ways. You can either colour straight on to here, and you can see, oh, I've moved it over because I just need my glass mat. You can still see the detail through. But what you can also do is, oh, so Daisy nearly dropped that. You can also pick it up with some water. Now, the water will dilute the colour, and it will dilute the sparkle as well. But you can do it whichever way works for you. So you can just pick it up, and then we can come in with the leaves, and just up here, and the foliage. But don't worry too much about it, because we're going to do an effect on it in a minute that will actually sort of bleed all these out anyway. So just do it approximately where you want it to go. And don't worry if a little bit comes misses, because we can sort all that in a bit. Clean my brush. So the next one I'm going to come back in with the pink. I don't know why I keep putting them back in the packets. So we can take the next one, get some pink, and again, let's pop a little bit. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to pop a little bit of yellow in the centre there, just in there. The great thing about colouring watercolour style is you can be really, what's the word? It's a light touch. You don't have to be too exact. So I can just bring this round here, and you get the most amazing results. So don't worry if you think to yourself, oh, I'm not very good at colouring, painting. You really don't need to. You can get light and tone, but look at how approximately we're colouring. We're not spending ages and ages, but you wait till we're finished. So we've done the pink. Then I'm going to come in with my orange, and every time all I'm doing is just putting a little bit on the mat, if that's what I wanted. Now what you can also do is you can actually just activate the colourants on here. So I haven't even picked up any orange. I'm just using the orange that's on the paper already. Can you see? So if you just want to really but I can then come in with a little bit more colour.
Very effective.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Let's come in here and there, and then we can come in just here. I've just noticed I've missed a flower. So let's just come on here. And then the last one I want to do is with that gorgeous blue, and I'm just going to bring in a little bit from here, just put a bit on there, and then I'm going to use my brush just to spread it out a bit. Oh, I can see a little, let's make that green, just there. It's ever so forgiving, isn't it? Can you see how forgiving it is as an art? You don't need to worry at all. Just picking up little bits where I've missed. And then we can just come in here as well. Right, now once we've got that, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get my water sprayer and I'm just going to give it a little blast. There we go. So you can see how it just
beautiful
bleeds and runs a little bit. What I want to do is, as soon as I've got it where I want it, I've just seen a bit that I've not done. Oh, that was a lot. So you just need to press and stop it. So I'm going to give it a quick blast, and then we can blast it like this. I mean, anyone can paint like this. All we've used so far are our pens and a stamp. Nothing too complicated at all. Give it a quick dry off. Now remember, we've used a water-based medium and some water. So if I want to stamp over, I need to use my waterproof ink. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to get it more or less dry. Because it's sparkly, it still looks it. And I'm going to get my stamp. I'm just going to give it a quick clean. Just to get that off, just because I don't want it to mark. So we can then peel this off, and what I'm going to do is I'm now going to switch from my rocker block to my stamping platform. So I'm just going to lay this over the top, just where it fits perfectly. So I bring in my stamping platform. Now anyone can do this. There is really nothing too complicated in this at all. We can put these ones onto here, and then we can pick this stamp up here, just like that, turn it over, and then stamp with, ink it with our watercolour ink. Just pop that over, and I can see that's come on the top, and then that will over stamp just there. There we go. And now, lovely, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, it really is. Wow. So we're nearly finished. The last little bits I'm going to do is I'm going to mask this off, just as we did this morning. Just stamped it onto a piece of my masking tape and put that on. I can come in, I just want to quickly stamp a sentiment. So that's really easy to do. And again, we're going to do it with our waterproof ink. That's going to go on there. Sending happy thoughts. We can just pop that on to there. There we go, there's our sentiment. And then the last little bit I'm going to do is I'm just going to mask off a little bit there. I'm going to get my pens, and one by one I'm going to take my pens and I'm just going to tap. This is when you get nice mucky fingers, so you can see on there in all of the colours that I've used. Now, if your colours start to merge, just give them a quick blast with your heat gun. So you can just see all those colours. So I'm just going to give that a quick blast. You can always spray them a little bit as well with water if you just want them to be more of a burst. So we can just get those drying. I don't want the colours to totally muddy up because I'm going to go in with the yellow next. Let's make sure that yellow's flowing. So when I put the yellow on, it should just show. And what colour have I not done? I've not done the blue. Let's make sure that's nicely flowing. There we go. And then that goes on like that. There we go. So all I want to do now, I'm going to give it a quick blast, just quickly, just to make sure I don't smudge, because that would be a shame to smudge, wouldn't it, after doing all that hard work. Pop that like that. Now, let me show you this. If we then remove that from there, and then we remove the masking tape from there, we've got that lovely clean edge. Doesn't that, let me bring that so you can see, doesn't that look beautiful?
Absolutely.
And all I would do to finish it is, I've just drawn a border around. Really, really simple border. And so that then, how clear is this? Blue to pack up the bow.
Yep.
And that is my card finished.
Fantastic.
Lovely, isn't it?
Really, really clever. Love that.
Really easy.
No, brilliant. Really nice. So this, that's all of those sparkle pens. These are the sparkle pens we've got for you in 4 different sets of colours and one with the clear here. So these are your sparkle pens from Spectrum Noir. They were absolutely beautiful. Lots of people loving these. Where was the message that I saw? Oh yeah, Lynn says you can never have too much sparkle. Is that not true? I think, you know, I'd like to wear sparkle every day, but you know, they give you funny looks elsewhere. Sarah Brown says, now you know, Becky, if I don't comment too much, it's because of the babies has taken effect. So we might not hear much more from Sarah Brown later on. Rosalind said, hello from a cold and windy Maryland. The temperature drops from 32 to 17 degrees last night. That's a huge drop. Laurie says, good morning, friends. I've got a fresh cuppa and watching from Gilbert, Arizona. Rosalind says, I love the sparkle pens on canvas. I've not seen them on canvas, actually. It's quite interesting.
I bet that would look lovely.
Yeah. Laurie says, love, love, love the sparkle pens, and that's so cute. Evelyn says, good morning from a beautiful Colorado. Terry says, saving another show to my Corrine YouTube library.
Yes,
and I think actually you're using techniques that you wouldn't necessarily think about with those sparkle pens. So it's really good to see a different way of using things, isn't it?
Yes.
Lillian Kwok says, I thought Corrine was using a new term for this technique, colour straight. It's twist on illustrate, but then I realised it was colour straight from the mat. Maybe you should coin that as a new phrase. Yeah. You know, like Debbie Robinson with chunky glue?
Yep.
You know, that is her phrase. Rosalind says, is that stamp from the Builder Bouquet stamp set?
Oh, sorry, it's just one that I've picked up from here. It's Sending Happy Thoughts. If you put that onto our, into our website, you will find it in there. Sorry, I can't be more specific than that, but I don't think it's Build a Bouquet, no, because your bouquet is ready built. Yeah. I don't think it is. I think it's just one of our stamps. But try putting Sending Happy Thoughts in to the website and you'll find it.
Lovely. And Michelle Parsons says, when spritzing, do you recommend spraying from an angle or from the top of the image?
Depends what effect. If you want it to divert, I often do it from an angle because it then pushes the ink in the direction that I want it to go in. So yeah, personally, I tend to go at an angle.
Okay, lots of people loving that, lots of people wanting to try that, and I definitely think that is a technique with all of those little sort of sparkles with that sort of different technique for the background is a really, really good idea. We are now looking at the Spectrum Noir Sparkle Clear pens in a set of 3, and Corrine's going to show us what we can do with these.
Right, now the clear sparkle pen is in exactly the same format as the colour sparkle pens, except that the ink in here, as the name would suggest, is clear. So if I've got a piece of card in here and I put it on, oh, this one, there we go, let me just make sure this brush is clean. There we go, you can see it's just a clear sparkle. There you go, the brush has come nice and clean now. So it's just a lovely sort of overlay. We often call it clear sparkle overlay because it just colours like that. But it's a water-based medium. So I've taken a stamp from our Delightful Daisy collection. So it's just this lovely stamp, but it's really clever because you get the stamp and the die. So I've stamped onto here, and then I have used one of them to cut round the edge. So I've just cut one piece of it off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my aqua pens so that you can mix and match your medium. So what I'm going to do here is I have got my yellow and I can then come straight in and I can colour directly onto my watercolour card if I want to, just like this. And I'm going to get a really intense colour because these are my aqua pens. And then all I need to do is go over it with my clear overlay pen, sparkle overlay, and then colour that, and that will then be an intense yellow with some sparkle on. So you can see how that goes. But this is a daisy, and I want my daisy to be a lot more subtle. So what I can do is I can scribble my aqua pen onto my mat, and then I can take my overlay pen, and then I can pick up some, and I can then just colour round the edges. And we can take this round here. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit paler. Let me just take that. Let's go with the paler pink. That was a bit strong, so I can come in here with the paler pink. There we go. Really easy to correct. So take that. There we go. That's what I wanted. A lot paler. I can then come in with the paler pink and then come round the edge. And then I can drag that colour out. So we can get that, and then we can just come with the clear, and then we can drag that colour out from there. So what we're doing is we're just giving it almost like a pink wash over the top. So just using that on there. Can you see we're just getting that lovely pink hint. So we can do the same with this one and just come round the centre with the more intense colour. And can you see, I love watercolour colouring because you can be a lot more fluid, it's not an exact. When you're colouring with alcohol pens, there's lots of techniques and you need to do it just right or it doesn't look right. But with your watercolour, you can be a lot more, generous. Then I'm going to come in. Now, what you might want to do is with the green, is you might want to come down the stalk and then just drag that colour out to come out. That was drying a bit too much, so we'll just dry that. Let's come in here. That was gripping a bit too much. We can come down like that. And then we're going to do the same on the leaves. Just colour in like this. And look at how much they sparkle.
That's lovely.
It really is, isn't it?
Hardly using any ink.
Hardly using any. I put a lot more on the mat than I really needed. So once we've got it, oh, look, I've just spotted a stem. I forgot to do that. There we go. Once we've done that, we can then just dry that off. You don't need to worry, it doesn't dull the sparkle down at all. So as long as, you've activated that mica, and can you see how, I'm going to give this a little bit of a twist and a turn so that you can see how, you can see that sparkle. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Because we're colouring with the sparkle overlays. And then the last little bit I would do, just as we did before, I would mask this off. So just like we did earlier, mask it off. That's approximately right. Put my colours onto my mat again. And what was my other colour? I used yellow, didn't I? Which was on here. There we go. And then we can just do a lovely splatty technique. Now I've not done anything around the edges on this one. Kitchen roll, that's coming out a little bit yellow and a bit green. So we can then just come in with the yellow. We can come in with the green just on here. So all of these little splats are going to come out as perfect little sparkles, and then onto here, just like that. And then when we take this off, we have got a lovely, it's much more subtle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So all I would do to finish is, I did these, and I've used the aqua pens. I just cut out a sentiment. So it says, hello you, from that die set. And I've just done exactly the same, and I've just coloured it with the sparkle pens, and then I have heat embossed over the top. So we've got hello there, and then we've got you, oops, get that off there, onto here, hello you, just on there. And then we can then just grab a little bit of our glue. We can put a bow. I always used to put bows at the top. They don't have to go at the top. They can go anywhere you want. And then that will sit on a card base like that.
Absolutely beautiful, yet again. That's stunning. These are your sparkle pens. These are your clear sparkle pens in a pack of 3. I think they look so effective using those. And like you said, it almost looks like when you're using them, our Centura Pearl paper, our card, that's sort of the kind of feel you get to it. It's quite difficult to see on the screen because obviously, we can see it here and it is super sparkly. But I can imagine if you put like a sort of pale pink wash on your card and then you put that sparkle over the top, you would get that kind of iridescent kind of sheen that you get with the Centura Pearl. So it's probably, if you've not bought them before, if you've not seen them, have a look at the Centura Pearl that you've got, and that's the kind of deep kind of sparkle that you're going to be able to get. Lots of people loving what you're doing, of course loving what you're doing. Carol says, good morning, crafty friends. Jeffrey Langley says, good day. Becky and Corinne and the CTV crew and the folks here. Kirsty says, CC parcel just arrived with my photo of Ben.
Oh,
I think
lovely.
what we need to do is we need to fill Ben's social media of people posing with their photos.
That'd be good.
Maybe you're going on holiday. Take your photo of Ben, and we want pictures of the most obscure or the most beautiful places that you're going to take Ben on holiday to. So maybe you're going to, I don't know, to the supermarket today. Take your picture of Ben, have a little photograph. I think that Ben would be delighted about seeing all those photographs, but I think it'd be quite fun. And I think it's quite a nice idea we were saying earlier on in Play Your Crafts Right, when we had all those photographs where we had those mashups of people. What we should do is we'll have those made into pictures, and we can then individually sign them. So you're going to be getting some kind of hybrid of everyone. Actually, it should be a little bit of everybody. It's just the crafter's companion, expert of everything, expert and presenter of everything. I don't know.
That might be a little bit scary to get those through
It might be, actually. Yeah. They're the kind of things that you know, when your children are misbehaving, you can go, this is what's going to come after you. Ah! Yeah, it might be a bit scary. Evelyn says, beautiful card. Shadiah says, sorry, late to the show. My daughter-in-law wants me to come over to her so I can create and make a card for her mother's birthday. So happy a second person is showing interest in my art. It is so lovely, isn't it, when people ask you to make something that they're so impressed, or people, when they don't believe you've made it, they assume that you bought it from a shop, and you almost have to get out all of your crafty bits and lay them out and go, no, this is what I made with all of these things. It's always quite nice to see. One of the questions I had actually was, when you're using your watercolour paper, do you have to stretch it the way you know, if you were going to be doing a watercolour painting, you make the paper wet and then you stretch it on a board. No. So it doesn't wrinkle. It doesn't. You don't have anything like that with that paper.
No. Sometimes some of the effects that you might be wanting to create, your backgrounds and things, you might want to wet the card first because the pens will go on different. But for everything that I've done today, no, I've just gone straight onto fresh watercolour card.
Oh, that's great. That's nice. That makes it nice and easy.
Oh yes, we're all for the easy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Terry says, take Ben like the kids did in elementary school and flat Stanley. Oh, that's quite a good idea. Yeah, we could just post Ben. We could have one picture of Ben that we just post around the world. Keep Royal Merlin business. Sandra says, some time ago, CC used to do sparkle ink in little jars. Yes, they did. I am lucky to have lots of colours and a few of the clear ones. Well, that sounds quite nice. And Lillian says, those mashup photos are too scary. They were quite frightening. They were, absolutely. These are our glitter pens that we've got on the show, 3 different sets of glitter pens, and Corrine's going to show us how we can use these.
I certainly am. Right, so as we said, you get your 3 sets. I have got the vibrant florals, the neon lights, and also the cool elements. So they are a lovely pen set, so you can see all of those colours there. And what I'm going to show you is, when you get them, they come with a white nib. So all you need to do is you just need to pump them down a couple of times, and hopefully we can bring that in so you can see. Can you see the ink just starting to flow down the nib? It's not quite reached the very end yet. So I'm going to give it one more pump. There we go. It's down at the end. And that now is, there we go. Let me show you that. Can you see how that sparkles? Absolutely gorgeous. Let me just do a nice big squiggle there, and then you can see that sparkle there now, can't you? Absolutely gorgeous. And you're going to have these in all the colours. Now these again are a water-based pen, so we can do our water-based techniques with these. So I'm going to start with I'm going to do a lot of yellow and orange on this. So I'm going to use, let's see, so I'm just using out of my vibrant florals there, and I also need a green, so I'm going to use the green out of the cool elements. So we can take that one. And then all you need to do, now you can do this 2 ways. You can, again, come straight to your card and put them on there, or you can work off a palette. And I quite like to work off a palette. And when I say palette, that just means glass mat. Okay. Don't think it's anything fancy. So all I'm doing is pumping down a little bit of ink onto there. And then I'm going to get my brush, keep it fairly dry, and then I can then come in and paint with this. And this is going to, if your brush is very wet, you're going to dilute the glitter down. But as long as you've got a fairly dry brush, so that you're mostly painting with the glitter, you will see that everything is very vibrant and very sparkly. So we can pop that on there just like that. Again, it's just like watercolour techniques. So once we've done that, we can then come in, and what I like to do here is let's get some yellow down. So this is a lovely gold yellow. Does it actually say yellow cosmos? Absolutely beautiful. You've got a few different yellows, and I'm going to come in with the orange as well. So we can pop this on here. Now the stamp I've used is our heartfelt thanks. So you get the frame. I've not used the die to cut the aperture out. I've just stamped straight onto there. So make sure my brush is clean. I don't want any green on there. So make sure it's clean, and then I can come in and I can then just brush. Now remember, just as we were doing before, if you are using a water-based medium, then you need to use your water-based, your waterproof ink pads. So it's simple to remember. So we can then just come out, and I'm just going to mix, let that blend out quite a long way. So we can then come in with the yellow, and that's going to go around there. And then we can come in with the orange and blend it out. Can you see how easy it is to colour with that? Once I've done that, I'm just going to give that a quick blast. And again, these pens aren't going to lose their sparkle just because I've force dried it.
Right.
You know, it doesn't make any difference. If it starts to curl, just give it a quick blast on the back, and look at that, it's gone nice and flat again. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get up that little bit of green because I don't want that. And then I'm going to do one colour at a time. I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to come all over with some of my orange, just like this. And then we're going to do our spritz bottle and spritz that, and really mix that around. If you need to, just give it a little bit of a mix if you need to. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up all of that ink. There we go, you can see it's starting to pick up. You might have to go in again with a second colour and then dry that. And because I've used my waterproof ink to stamp it with, that's absolutely fine. So just dry that off. You need to dry between layers, otherwise you'll just end up with a muddy puddle at the end. If you've got a big bit like that where I've got quite a bit, you can always just blot, and that will blot. And then I would just do the same with my yellow. So just lay this down, pop it down on here. I've still got a bit of water left on there. So see, nice and easy to do. Spritz with the water, and then you can always then just use your paper to make it spritz, you know, mix around. Pop that, dry that off. Get that dry. I would go in with more layers, and I'll show you why in a minute. And when that's dry, we can then do one final bit of picking those up and doing nice little splats all over, just to get some lovely effects. Now, I've rushed through that, but if you work through that methodically, that is what you get. Doesn't that look lovely? Yeah. And can you see how much it sparkles? These are a water-based medium, so you can use all of your regular water-based techniques on these. So I've matte and laid it onto some black and some orange, some of my Saying with Flowers cardstock, and when I build that up, how about that? I think that's really lovely. I've got a black bow. I think I've dropped my black bow. I'm going to find my black bow and pop that on, and that's that finished.
Lovely, great techniques. These are using the glitter pens we've got here from Spectrum Noir, 3 different packs, 3 different collections of colours. I think actually having a gloss mat is possibly the best thing you could ever have.
Oh, it's your best investment for crafting, isn't it?
You know, I didn't have one for ages. I always used like an ordinary, almost like a mat that I would use for cutting fabric. I just used to use one of those. That's what my mum always had. And actually, when I started working here and I got gloss mat, I was like, wow, it's a game changer. It's so useful. I do hope you're learning plenty. I certainly am today.
one, the nearest alternative is an acrylic block.
Oh, okay.
You can do everything that I've done on the glass mat, I could do on an acrylic block. Obviously, I wouldn't have the same surface area for smooching around on, but if I want to pick up the ink, an acrylic block will work just as well.
Brilliant, excellent. And you know, having it so easy to clean as well makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes.
So that's really, really useful. Shadiah said, I've got a question. That wasn't her question. Corinne, to stamp on the black premium pad, what types of ink can I use so I can colour? So it depends on what medium you're using to colour as to what ink pad you use, isn't it?
If you were doing it on the black pad, I would do it with, I would stamp with a clear pad and put some white embossing powder over so you could see it.
Right.
And then you can then add your glitter mediums on top of that. And the glitter mediums, they do show up brilliantly. We've not really talked about black today, but these show up beautifully on black as well as on white, yes.
As on black cardstock?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, brilliant, that's great. Brenda says, I love my sparkle pens. I use the clear pens for my decoupage flower toppers and I have a box full ready to use when needed. In fact, if you watched the earlier show that we did, we had those creator card packs with all of those decoupage, well not decoupage, all those sort of flower embellishments, but you could of course use them for decoupage, and I think actually these glitter pens would be absolutely fantastic on there just to give a little bit of a spark and a little bit of a shimmer. So they are absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm thinking of these glitter pens for Christmas for decorating baubles. You know, if you were lucky enough to go to any of Sarah's tours, they had some beautiful baubles made out of ceramic, and definitely sort of decorating those. But even, I think they work well on acrylic as well, and plastic, don't they? They're not just a medium that you use for paper, so you could definitely use them on something like that. So sort of trying to think out of the box and different things you could do with them. But you saw how amazing it makes those backgrounds, and having that little, and like we all want a bit of sparkle, don't we? We all want a bit of sparkle in our lives, so that is a really, really good way of making sure that you can have a bit of sparkle in your card making. But of course, obviously use them for other things. Even like decorating, when it comes to like World Book Day and things like that, when you've got to make a costume for the children, making something quick and easy, you know, being able to use these pens on t-shirts or things like that, obviously they're going to wash away, but if you're going to make something really quick and easy for the children that's not going to break the bank, they're a good option for you to have as well. These are our sparkle pens. You've got 4 sets here, all in different colours, 3 pens in each. And you're going to show us another little demo on these, aren't you?
I certainly have. Now, just to keep this what I have done is I have heat embossed with white, oh there you go, can you see there? You see, I've heat embossed my stamp on there. So this is, there is nothing better than a friend unless it is a friend with chocolate. So I have heat embossed this onto some watercolour card. Now this is one where if you wanted to, you could do a wet wash over the top. This is what you're saying. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come straight in with my sparkle pen. So it's a water-based medium, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to colour over the top. Actually, let's do it onto the mat, and let's grab ourselves a larger brush. That would work equally as well. So we can do it this way. I'm changing my mind how I'm doing this. So let's go in with some orange. So you can see, I can see all that sparkle on there. And then I'm going to get my brush, I'm going to keep it fairly dry. I'm going to pick up some of the medium, and then I'm just going to brush over here. And can you see the clear embossing is acting as a resist? So we can put that bit there. Let's just do another bit just down here. There we go. We can pop this just there. And let's do another bit just here as well. I could do with a bit more ink. Now the great thing is putting it onto the glass mat means I can just keep coming back in and picking up more ink as I need to go. So let's go right to the middle there, and look at that, how it comes across as it acts as a resist and doesn't cover just there. So once we've done the orange, now if you need to, you can dry your colours in between. Oh, that one's not, come on. I was pulling the wrong bit. I was pulling the wrong bit. There we go. Oh dear. And then we can pop the next colour over. So let's do our colour wash just here. Doesn't this look Aren't those colours beautiful?
Definitely.
You see how it's just creating, it's very, very vibrant, is this. You know, we're making it quite strong. It's not sort of for the faint-hearted. And then let's do one more just down. Let's go one more down here. There we go. And what you can do is you can even get your clear and then you can start to blend the two colours together. That works really well. So you can come in and blend those lines so that there's not as much of a gap between the lines.
Okay.
And then I would make a mess on there and then come in with my blue. There we go. Separate it from the right place this time and then pop that one. Nearly dry my brush off and then we can come in. Look at that. Doesn't that look? I think I need to.
Colours.
Aren't they lovely?
Mm.
Let's just do one more up here. You can see, and then the final one, just so we can get it all on, is I'm going to come in with the yellow, pop that on. Nice bit on here. Again, I'm not really wetting my brush too much, which is picking up some of the other colours, but that's absolutely fine. Let's just see if I can get a little bit more, a bit yellower. There we go. Pop that on there. And then we can come on just there. And I love how the colours just blend together and create new colours. So once you've got that, then I'm going to come in and I'm going to dry this. There we go, just get that dry. Now, we have used quite a lot of water on here, so even though I'm drying it, it's still going to have a wet element to it. But that's absolutely fine, because we can get around that by using a water-based medium. So you can either heat emboss like we've done here, or you can use a waterproof ink. And either way is going to work brilliantly. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my mat in. Let's just make sure I don't cover it in there. And then I have got from my Buds and Blooms, sorry. I think this might be the Builder stamp, a Builder bouquet one that was asked about previously. And then all I'm going to do is go round the edge and stamp over the edge, and I'm just going to stamp in different places just around here, and I'm going to do it with the flowers. I can pick different flowers, and then I can also pick, let's see what else we've got foliage. Oh, I like that one as well. Let's pick that flower. Let's do a little bit with that flower, make it all, try and vary it a little bit. All I'm trying to do is stamp inside that washi tape. Take that one off. Put the next one on. This is the foliage. Come in and put a little bit of foliage just here and just there. Can you see we're just building up that border and build it round. And then you go all the way round, but what you can do then is take this off and look at how this looks just with the flowers around the edges. And then, can you see how it's just coming in? Yep. But if you finish it off completely, these are slightly darker colours, but this is the one I made earlier, and just bringing that foliage in. But how about that for the front of a card?
Lovely, lovely. It's really beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous. So this is using the collection of sparkle pens that we have over here. 3 in each pack, 4 different types of colours that we've got here. That really reminds me of Hawaii. Not that I've been to Hawaii, but you know, you can imagine sort of lying on the beach, looking through
a canopy of.
Well, they're called hibiscus flowers, aren't they, in Hawaii?
I think so, yeah.
They look like that. It's lovely, and I like that idea of using your stamps to create almost like a framework around the outside. That's a really clever idea. Lots of people loving this. I've got, let's have a look, see here. Rosalind says metallic markers show up well on black, and you can watercolour with them as well. Yeah, you could make a really, I quite like that idea, being able to sort of watercolour with them. Susan says, thanks to the acrylic block Corrine, sorry, Start again. Thanks for the acrylic block use, Corrine. I've been using microscope slides to work on.
Oh, yeah. They're a bit small, though.
They are a bit small, aren't they? I'm a bit worried they might, because they're glass, aren't they? Well, they certainly were when I was young. It might be plastic now, I don't know. Stephanie says, good morning, everyone. I've been so fascinated by all the techniques Corrine's been showing. I've got caught up with watching, so hello now. Shadiah says, wow, Corrine, so many ideas today. I love it. Christy Mahoney says, wow, between Corrine today and Jan yesterday, I'm going to get messy later on and tomorrow. What great projects you both did. Thea says, how do you clean your sentiment, Corrine? That sentiment stamp that you did with the one that we used the heat emboss powder on.
Just my stamp cleaner. Stamp cleaner. We do a spray, if I can find it. We do the stamp cleaning station. So you can get stamp cleaning solution. There you go. We spray that. You spray that onto your stamp, and then you rub it onto here. So you clean it on this side. So if this was my stamp, I'd rub it onto that side. Once I got all the ink off, I'd rub it onto that side to dry it.
I need one of those. I haven't got one of those.
Haven't you?
No.
We sell them, Becky. You want to go onto the Crafters Companion website, look in stamp cleaning station, like it says on the front, and you'll get one.
Honestly, it's one of it's the best thing and it's the worst thing me working here, because every single time, if Tracy was here today, she'd be saying to me, stop buying things, because every time we have a break, I go, I think I need that. You know, I think I need that. I haven't got one of those. I haven't got a stamping mat. I've got the stamping platform, but not the stamping mat.
Oh, you need a stamping mat.
I do, don't I? I think I might have to do a little bit of a shopping spree later on today. One of the questions we had is a rocker better than a flat block?
Yes.
Yeah, always.
Always. Yeah, the flat blocks are brilliant as a palette.
Yeah.
And occasionally, if I was just doing around the edges of that, I can sometimes find a flat box quite useful. But I'm a convert. As everybody's seen my journey, I am a convert to the rocker blocks. There are still the place for your stamping platform, like when we did this card and I needed to go in exactly over where we'd stamped, you need your platform. Yeah. Absolutely. It'd be really hard to do it with a rocker block. Yeah. Again, when I did this and I did the white, I did a few layers. So again, I used the platform. Right. But as you saw when we were doing some of the others, and what we're going to do now is we're going to use the rocker block. Right, okay, brilliant. We have Christy Mahoney says, oh my gosh, can you do this all day, Corrine? I'm loving all your card projects. Thank you. Beth says, wow, that's gorgeous. Melanie, love the demo. Susan says, a striking card. Thank you for all those techniques. And Lynn says, wow. So everybody's loving that. And I'm learning so very much, as I always do when I'm here anyway. These are our glitter markers. We've got 3 different packs of glitter markers, 6 different pens in each pack. And Corrine's going to show us another demo using these. I certainly am. Right, now, I wanted to do some sort of brush lettering effect. And I thought, I can't do brush lettering, so how can I do this? So what I thought was, I've got a stamp, and this stamp says the word happy. I want to do it with this. So I've got my waterproof ink in the flagstone, which is quite pale. So what I thought I'd do is I would stamp once with the ink. So I've got it on there. And this is my scrap piece of card, and I'm going to stamp. And I've got a lovely happy. I would struggle to colour over that. It's too dark. So I've not done anything else with this platform. And what I'm going to do now is a second generation stamp. I'm going to lightly stamp with that, and look at that. Nice. Really nice pale. I've got an even paler one there. This is the one I'm going to actually use. And what we're going to do is we're going to work with that. So these glitter pens are so clever, and we're going to, again, I could have probably done with some clean water, but we'll manage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, and every time I do this, it comes out differently. And you can, oh, mucky fingers. Now, what you might want to do is go around the edges with your glitter pens. Just like this, just around the edge. And then, once you've done that, you've got your rough outline. I'm only doing half. I'm going to stamp it onto my mat, and then with a virtually dry brush, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to paint in side there. Just blending that down so you can hardly see where I've gone round the outside. So we can just do that. There we go. Then I'm going to get to second colour, so let's go with pink. And we can then come round the edge with the pink. All these pens have been primed before, so they're ready to go. Then we can come down here like this. Now, I know that this is going to work really well because I've got that really pale stamp underneath. And can you see, oh, I've got mucky hand. Excuse that blodge on there. So you can see it's going to cover, it works really well, and it's going to cover up that stamped image. But I don't have to worry about, have I got one letter bigger than the other?
Yeah.
Or is it going to work? So once I've got that, then I'm going to get my water, and I'm just going to blend the two colours together so that you can hardly see where one joins up with the other. We can even come with a little bit of the purple and just blend it down, and then you can work it through there. So just keep working those letters, and can you see how we go from one colour to the other? Now, the other thing you can do with these is, once you've done that, is, now these aren't blendable in the same way. I can't use these like I would an ink pad unless you are very clever and get something like a blending medium. So the best thing that you can do for blending medium is get some vegetable glycerine. And what I'm going to do, and I'll show you, let me show you here. So if I get this, I pick up this ink, this is my scrap one, and I come on here, can you see, it's dry, it drags.
Yep.
So if I now put, sometimes it's good to show you it going wrong, if you know what I mean. Put some more down. Now I've not got fancy pipettes or anything like that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a drop into the lid and then control it from the lid, and then just put one drop. All I want is one drop there. And then when I blend that, that might even be more than I needed, so let's just put a little bit more on. Put that. And then pick that up. So then when we blend this down, can you see how that now blends? So I'm now blending with sparkle glitter markers. So not only are they for colouring, but they are now for blending as well. There you go, you can see. Now, once you've finished all that, this happy birthday comes with another stamp. So I'd stamp my birthday over that in using a waterproof ink pad. And that is what you get. Doesn't that look amazing? Brilliant. I've just done a border around the outside with art liner, couple of pearls, one over the P, and then I would stick that onto a background. I'm not even going to bother popping it onto a full card because I just want to show you how I pick up the pink, edge it in the black just to make it pop it onto the pink, and then that would be a beautiful card.
Lovely. Love that effect. Really, really clever. This is using the glitter pens, 3 packs here, 6 different coloured pens in each one of those boxes. I love that technique with using that glycerin. Now, if you were using that, could you use that for creating a background and then stamp over the top of it, or would the glycerin affect different ink pads?
Good question. I think if you let it dry, it would be absolutely fine.
Right, okay.
I think, you just have to let it dry. Once it's dry, it's dry, so it's not going to affect your ink pads, and that is dry already. So
it's really quick.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Lots of people loving that. Coletta says, I absolutely love that stamp cleaning station. I think I might have to put one in my basket when we have the little break later on. Mary Beth says, great techniques, Corrine. Thanks for sharing. Elizabeth says, what's the difference between sparkle and glitter pens?
A glitter pen is a lot more of an ink. It's a lot more fluid. There's a lot more water within the sparkle pens. And you've got the sparkle pens. Let me find a sparkle pen just down here. I've got so much. A sparkle pen, you've got the mica. You can hear it free flowing. It's very liquid in there. And you've got a brush nib. So you've got the brush nib. With a glitter pen, you still have the mica in there, but it is, you've got the bullet nib.
Right.
So yeah, they're very similar. They are very similar. And, you know, a lot of the techniques that you've seen me do have been quite similar.
Yeah.
But I think it's a thicker medium in your glitter pens, much thicker medium.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Is the sparkle in itself?
I think sparkle is on par for par. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you'd struggle to see a difference. Yeah.
Right. Okay, brilliant. Now, we've had some amazing demonstrations today, so we need to do a little bit of a vote so you can find out what the demo of the show is. So you've got them all ready over there, haven't you?
Between demos, I've quickly tried to put a border on that one because I like that one. It's gone a little bit wonky. But if you can excuse the wonky border. That was the first one, using the sparkle pens.
Yeah.
Then the second one was using the, did we go that one next? I think aqua pens and a clear sparkle overlay pen. The third one was that one. That was the third one, wasn't it? With the glitter pens. So I coloured with that. The fourth one was using the sparkle pens as a background over an embossed. Yeah. And the fifth one was back using the glitter pens, sort of trying to do it a little bit ombre, and then also using the glycerin to do that. So 5, 4, 3, sorry, there's a lot here for you to choose from, 2, 1. And that's not bad in an hour.
That's amazing.
That's not bad in an hour.
It's like a sort of factory, you know, just Corrine the factory card maker or something.
Well, I wanted to show you as many techniques as I could.
I think
Even though we've only used 2 products, I want to show you that they can be used very, very differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Please get your votes in. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. We've got plenty to choose from. And do get any questions in if you're unsure about the techniques and that sort of thing. Do message in. Corine and I are going to be here all the rest of today and also tomorrow. So to give a little bit of a recap, these are our sparkle pens. You've got 4 different sets here in the 4 different colours, and then you've got a final one which is just your clear. So you've got a mixture of all sorts of different colours in here. They are not duplicated, and you can see those amazing effects that Corine gets from all of those different designs. So being able to use these in all sorts of different ways for embellishing or making them an actual total feature of your card making would be amazing to do. Have you got a few samples over there?
I have. I'm just having a look. So this first is with the glitter pens. Sorry, you might have been showing the sparkle pens.
Yeah,
these are samples from the glitter pens. So you can see, again, we've used them as background. Look at that shine on there. And then on here, you can see, look at that. It just makes it look absolutely gorgeous. And then the little dragon. So we've used that gorgeous purple and just diluted it down. So you can still, don't worry about not being able to get light and shade. Look at the different colour coming out of the top there. Then with the sparkle pens, we've created backgrounds. We have done stamping with them. We've created lovely splats. I was showing you these before, and I think those ones have been done directly onto the card and then splattered with water, you know, made the water pop on top to make them put out. Look, that drawing with them to create light and shade and then stamping on them looks beautiful. And as somebody asked, if you want to, you can heat emboss and colour onto it. I coloured over the heat embossing to do the resist, but you can actually, this is brilliant because it almost acts as like bumper bars so that you don't go out to the lines. That's what I love. I love heat emboss so that you can colour within the lines.
That is, they are absolutely beautiful. And of course, not only do you have the sparkle pens, you've also got the glitter pens over here in all of those different colours as well. So really, really lovely. Now the vote is in. It was very close.
Was it?
Now, I always like to ask the craft expert what they think would be the winning one. So what do you think was your winning one?
1.
1?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Charlotte, have you got any idea? What?
She thinks 1 too.
It's actually number 1.
It's number 1.
But 5 was very close.
5 was very close. I'm not surprised. That was with 5 was with the glitter pens and almost doing like an ombre effect with it, and then using the glycerin. But 1 was doing stamping with them and then colouring it in.
I love that effect you get for that, number one, and it really makes me realise that anybody could make that.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, if
Thanks.
you, well, no, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's one of those things, sometimes you look at cards that we've made and you think, oh my goodness, I'm going to have
Can't
loads
do
of
it.
bits and pieces. I'm never going to be able to get started on doing that. But you've made that really accessible because, like you say, you don't have to be fantastic at keeping...
You can go over the lines because we're going to spritz at the end anyway.
Yeah, and it looks so effective.
It does.
really, really love that. It's one of my favourites. Maybe if it doesn't win today, maybe I can take it home.
Maybe you can.
I'm just going to say that. So I hope you've enjoyed today, the show so far. We've still got another one to go later on. So do join us later on. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got a lot out of it. And I think actually this is going to be one that you would need to record because there are so many techniques that Corrine has showed us in the show today. Later on, we're going to be back in 3 hours' time. We've got the craft along and we're using the cascading card kit, which I think is absolutely beautiful with some really lovely colours in there. But Corrine's going to be showing us something a little bit different. We're not going to be doing just a card. We're going to be doing something more exciting than just a card. She'll be showing you lots of different techniques in that.
Would you like to see?
What, a sneak preview?
A sneak preview.
Shh, don't
what
tell
we're going to
anyone.
make is we're going to make a little gift bag, just like I've done here, I've used my Say It With Flowers, but inside my little gift bag, I have got, because you remember we were saying about having all the bits left over, look, I've been able to decorate the front, but I've made a little, gatefold card with my cascading card in the middle.
Wow.
And we're going to make it all. We're going to make the card, we're going to make the cascading card, and we're going to make the gift bag.
Oh my goodness, that is definitely another one to stay tuned for. That is absolutely beautiful. Can't wait to see you doing that. I wish I had the opportunity to just make it over here at the same time. Maybe I would get a little bit of a play. So do join us back here in 3 hours' time. We're going to be having a look at that craft along with that cascading card kit. Hope you've enjoyed today and let us know if you've got any questions. Come back to us and we'll be able to answer those later on for you. Have a nice afternoon.